Hello, my name is Risa Gonzalez, and this is my All About Me presentation. I don't know much of my family's history, so today I'll be discussing the little that I do know. Let's start from the beginning. I am the daughter of Martha Cid and Juan Luis Gonzalez. I was born in Havana, Cuba on June 28, 1988. My grandfather on my mother's side was from Spain. Well, really his parents were from Spain. They went from Spain to Cuba several times before they decided to stay in Cuba. My grandfather met my grandmother and fell in love. They had 3 daughters, my tia Mariela, my tia Mercedes, and my mom. Later on, my mother met my father and they got married. They later on had me and then my younger brother Ernesto. They decided to flee Cuba and move to the US in November of 1992. We left Cuba on a boat. We first arrived to the Cayman Islands along with some of my cousins and other families. We then moved on to Dominican Republic, where we stayed for a couple of months. We then moved on to Puerto Rico. In Puerto Rico, we were caught by the U.S. Coast Guard, and then we finally made it to Miami, Florida. I started kindergarten in the U.S., and it was quite difficult to get adjusted because of the language barrier. However, I soon adapted, and it was smooth sailing from there. When I was just 18 years old, I started talking to my now fiancé, who I've actually known since elementary school. We quickly fell in love. However, 2 years after, I received the worst news anyone could possibly get. My dad had stage 4 lung cancer, and he passed away 6 months after he was diagnosed. George stuck with me through one of the most difficult times I had ever experienced, and from there on, I knew he was the one. In 2010, at just 21 years old, we had our first son, Jaden, who is now 7. He is smart, caring, and the most sentimental child I have. He thinks he could take on the world right now because he knows jiu-jitsu. In 2012, we decided to have a second child, and in 2013, we had our daughter Zoe, who is now 4 years old. She is sassy, dramatic, and at times I swear she thinks she's 14 years old. Last year, I decided to go back to school to finish my teaching degree. I'm not gonna lie, it's extremely overwhelming working full-time, being a mother, a wife, and going to school. But thankfully, I have a very supportive family.
Created using Powtoon.